Howdy YouTube, this is Kirby again. We're playing with Spanish Inquisition, Pact Spanish Inquisition. This should be video number 3. So far my goldfish have been dying extraordinarily well with good understanding and forthrightness. It's just been floating there, doing nothing, waiting for us to kill it. So it's delightful. One of the interesting things that some people may be wondering, why am I trying to do this on physical, in the physical realm rather than trying to do this up on cockatrice and putting everything into my computer that I got right here, which I really like my computer, but I ultimately believe that one, you guys don't, I'm not going to learn how this deck does nearly as good, and to be quite honest, I don't think you guys are either, because I can't really manipulate things. To me, this is getting muscle memory for me manipulating these cards down, and so that I understand exactly how everything goes, and you just don't get that kind of feel from playing on cockatrice. It's a great system. I really wish that everything could be done on Magic Online, but unfortunately, Lion's Eye Diamonds are ridiculously expensive. I've already invested in them once. Why do it twice? And legacy events don't really fire that often on Magic Online, so of course, who am I talking to? I don't really play Legacy because I don't have the time and energy available to do that. And if you guys have ever used any of the other Magic Online playing style programs, specifically MWS, Magic Workstation, you try and play this deck online and everyone will just player disconnect, tell people F you, or you're going to screw it up trying to sort through your library, and you're gonna have to deal with a whole bunch of people saying you're a fucking cheater. So that's not my cup of tea. Okay, so this is a hand, arguably one of the shittier hands that I've ever dealt with. So you've got the crappiest land, 2 of your singletons that are only good in situations, no initial black mana source, and something requiring triple black. If you decide to keep this in a tournament, you should just light this deck on fire, because you're asking for somebody to slit your throat for you. I can't even think of a single top deck that would make this an acceptable thing to try out, because there's no way that you can go into Slither Muse. You can't break into Infernal Contract in any way, shape, or form. You can't do anything. So, yeah. Now, a lot of this stuff that you are wondering about this deck, this is a deck very, very mathematical. Whole bunch of 4 ofs, 8 ofs in the case of Cruel Bargain and Infernal Contract. There's a lot of redundancy between everything, so you can almost, there are people online that use it as arguments. You have a 12 out of 53 chance of getting X, Y, or Z in your next draw, and those percentage games are very good to know and understand, and occasionally do that math yourself. However, when I'm playing this, I'm not saying to myself, you know what, my next thing to do is to say, I have 53% chance of doing this, because ultimately in a tournament, I'm not going to have that opportunity either. I'm trying to get the muscle memory inside my head to where it's almost instinctual. You play with this deck enough, and how in the hell did I get that back there? Okay, so remember what I said about this being a shitty hand? Okay, so we have 3 situational cards. At least that can tap for black mana, but we're not anywhere close to actually using that. So that means that if I draw Elvish Spirit Guide, or there are a lot of things that I could draw to where this would not work good for me. So I would mulligan this, and you see that that would have been one more turn that the opponent had to live, 2 turns, and yeah, we're dead. So don't be afraid to mulligan. Mulligan often, mulligan aggressively. This deck will shit on you every so, well, more than every so often. There's a reason why this thing isn't at the forefront of the Magic community. Despite this being a better Belcher deck than Belcher, Belcher has consistent turn 1s because it doesn't require nearly as much math skill, practice, and everything. So this is hand 3 of game 3. So for those keeping track at home, I've had to mulligan with this deck 5 times, and this is only the 3rd game that I've been playing. So okay, so this one, this is doable. Ish. This one I'm kind of on the fence about. Because at this point, if you draw any sort of ritual effect, you win. Well, actually, no. Actually, you don't, because you have no way of ripping out all of the lands in your hand. This one I'd keep just because, really, if you try this and go off, people are just going to put you as a weird Belcher deck, and they're not going to be like, oh, well, he can do massive, awesome, really cool things with his draw 4s, unless they know you. So I would be content to, first turn, Lotus Petal, Lion's Eye Diamond. Actually, no. Important thing about scouting the room, find out who exactly has Artifact Hate main deck, or likely has Artifact Hate, who has Hand Disruption. If they have Hand Disruption, put that bitch down. If they have Artifact Hate, keep that bitch in your hand. But ultimately what we're looking for is that'll crack for the black, and then we look for Dark Ritual or Cabal Ritual. Cabal Ritual, you'd have to take out a... Damn it, I'm doing that again. Cabal Ritual, you'd have to take out a... the heck is it called? You'd have to take out a Elvish Spirit Guide out of your hand. So, draw a card for turn. Okay, not what I was looking for, but we crack both those, do both those, have Goblin Charbelcher, and at this point I'd crack it and discard my hand because I don't care. If I get 20 cards in, I live, or I kill them. If it's 20 or less, I'm a dead man. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Mother Smurfer. Alright. So we've only dealt them 6 damage. And so we're going to leave it at... We get to rearrange everything in the manner that we want. So I'm going to put that right above there. Put that on the bottom of the library. And at this point, you should probably just extend your hand to your opponent. Because that's turn 1. You've put your... Tallywhacker on a wood block and asked them to smash it. So they get their turn 1. My turn 2 does no help to me. They have turn 2. They've probably gotten some good. My turn 3. This is a green mana at this point, so we'll keep a hold of it. Their turn 3. Since I didn't do any sort of pay half your life deals, I might still be alive at this point. So my turn 4 does nothing for me. Their turn 4, if I'm not dead now, I will be next turn. So this is going to be my last card that I have possibility for. and Bupkis. Now, if I had a way to Summoner's Pact into black mana, which would be all kinds of snazzy, I'd be able to use that for Dark Ritual activate. Unfortunately, I don't. So, yep, that's a fizzle. So currently I'm at win 2, lose 1, 5 mulligans in three games that I've actually played. So if that's kind of discouraging, don't be. You mulligan a lot with this deck. So off I go.